Today we're going to be doing an Invicta FC 40 breakdown. I'm going to do the whole card. I think there's 6 fights, and did some research on these people today, a couple days. So I think a lot of these fights are pretty close. I did get a few requests to do this video, so there is going to be odds out for that. And Friday, I'm not 100% certain on this yet, but I believe for Odds HQ, if you guys missed our video last week, it was fun. You guys should definitely subscribe and make sure to hit the notifications, everything, so you can check that out. But we might talk about the fights for Fight Island as well, but just have this on in the background, just talking about it. Maybe have a couple bets so you can just spice things up a little bit over there as well for the show. But this is gonna be the first fight of the night here with Genia Gooden taking on Shelby Corinne. And both these girls, they're 2 undefeated prospects, solid amateur record. Gooden 1-0 as a pro. She did get that win in Invicta in 2019. She was 7-0 as an amateur. And Shelby Corinne, her opponent, this is going to be her pro debut, but she's also 7-0 as an amateur. On the feet, I mean, it's kind of what you expect. Both girls are aggressive and wild. Gooden just spams straight punches to try to get in the clinch, and she'll throw some high kicks. Her opponent, Corinne, she's very wild. She's a bit better on the feet, I'd say. She probably hits harder. She has better kicks. The issue is she has horrible defense, gets hurt in fights. I've seen her, out on her feet a couple times. I think Gooden is better controlling against the cage and in the scrambles, and probably has a better top control. Corinne, she shoots some good double legs, but seems to kind of lack the physicality. She's a little bit sloppier in her entries and on the mat. So I'm going to go with Gooden in this one by decision, controlling on top and against the cage. But like I said, I mean, only one girl's 1-0, one girl's 0-0. So yeah, I mean, not like you can have extreme confidence in either one here. And up next here we have 2 girls thrown down here. Gallardo 2-0. Trisha Cesaro, she's 3-3. And Trisha Cesaro, she has a salty record, but she isn't terrible. She's 3-3, but she's won 3 of her last 4 fights. She did start her career 0-2. She's training an American top team, and it looks like she's improved a lot throughout her career. Decent striker, improved her footwork, much lighter, quicker on the feet. She has better distance control. Really, tight striking, good jab, good straight punches down the middle, nice kicks, good low kicks, front kicks up the middle, solid round kicks. She doesn't move her head, and she can be flat-footed, though, even still. She's still hittable, but she's willing to throw down, willing to bang. She's a fun fighter to watch. She looks kind of strong, and she does like to control fighters against the fence. She'll hit doubles, hit singles off the cage. But overall, her grappling isn't very good. She's been submitted by some low-level girls. I haven't seen her on her back. I wasn't able to find a lot of fights of her, but she does have 1 loss via rear naked choke, and that was against, I believe, a 2-3 record or something like that. But she does have the cardio to go all 3 rounds and isn't a terrible fighter. Her opponent, Gallardo, she is the favorite here. She's 2-0. She's fighting out of King's MMA, and I haven't really seen much footage on Gallardo, but she looks like a good wrestler. Her striking looks terrible. I mean, she doesn't really throw much of anything. She just tries to get inside and grab. In this fight, I think she will be able to get inside because Cesaro doesn't really move her feet well. It's going to come down to if she can take down and hold down Cesaro. I'm going to pick Laura because we've seen Trisha submitted by a 1-2 girl. I assume she's going to be pretty bad on the map, but this is one of these fights that I have very low confidence in because I think Trisha is way better on the feet, and she might be stronger. So if she can, negate the takedown attempts or keep it at range, she does have a 3-inch height advantage. She could get the victory here. So I think this is actually a close fight. Haven't seen, I don't know why I said Gallardo is the favorite. I guess I'm just assuming that because of the records, but haven't seen odds out for this card. So just doing this off who I think is going to win, and I'm going to give a parlay, give a most confident pick, but probably we'll do another follow-up video when they do release odds and kind of just go over that and exactly if I want to keep the parlay or what I want to do. But for now, I'm going to pick Gallardo for the victory. And up next here, we have one of the better fights on the card, I would say. Olivia Parker versus Chelsea Chandler. Chandler, she's 2-1. She's coming off 2 finishes after losing in her debut. Pretty vicious knockout in her last fight. And she's a nasty chick. She loves to fight. She trains at Nick Diaz Academy. She kind of has that same mean mugging swag to her. And she's a 135er moving up to 145 for this matchup. So she is going to be the smaller girl. Her striking isn't the best, but willing to throw down. She has power in her hands, nice jabs, heavy straight right hand, left hook combination, heavy hooks inside. And when she lands clean, she can put girls out. I mean, we saw that in her most recent fight. She will throw some high kicks. Her defense still isn't the greatest. She doesn't move her feet well, even though she is improving her footwork. She doesn't move her head. She's very hittable. She's been rocked and dropped in fights. She will mix it up and grapple, good control, good head positioning in the clinch against the fence, good knees, good shots off the break. She keeps a fast pace, and she tires fighters out. She tries to break them. She will look for takedowns against the cage, and on top, she's very good. She's good at passing, good ground and pound, and she's an aggressive submission hunter. She gives up position to go for subs. She can't be taken down, and she is, not the greatest wrestler, but off her back, she's dangerous. She has a nice guillotine. She'll snatch up when fighters go for takedowns. And from standing, she'll go high elbows. She'll force fighters to their back. In her guard, she also has a nice triangle. She'll throw elbows, good arm bars. She'll roll for leg locks. And in her loss, she was gassed out. And she was going for low percentage subs and kind of just staying on her back for too long, which, lost her the decision. But she's improving every fight. That was her debut, and I think she has a lot of potential, to be honest with you. I think she could be good. For Olivia Parker, she's making her Invicta debut. She's 4-0. She was also 5-0 as an amateur, and she's going to be the bigger girl here. I mean, her weight loss story has been pretty crazy. When she joined her first martial arts class in 2015, she was, I think, 325 pounds, she said, and then in 2016, she took her first fight. She was weighing 226 pounds, and now, just 4 years later, she's fighting at 145. So, as you would suspect, most of her wins are by using her size, and she's not very skilled. On the feet, she's plodding. She throws some jabs, some hooks out there in order to get in the clinch, and she kind of reminds me of like a low-budget Felicia Spencer. She likes to get in the clinch, get the takedown, dominate on top. Her level of competition hasn't been good, but when she gets on top, she has been able to finish most of the time. She likes to get the side control, the crucifix, and she'll rain down shots there. She hit a reverse triangle in her last match from that position, and she has a good mount, good finishing ability from there. If fighters give their backs, she will hit rear naked chokes. And she's finished 3 of her last 4 fights, and looking at this fight, Chandler has definitely tested herself more. I believe she's fought a lot better fighter. She's the better athlete. I think she's going to be a lot better on the feet. The thing is, she's hittable, and if they trade, it could be 50-50. Parker, she does have okay boxing. I think the kicks of Chandler could be the difference in the striking. Parker will be looking for takedowns, but Chandler has good jiu-jitsu to counteract that. And Parker doesn't really have elite takedowns. The size may play a factor. Parker can force the clinch a lot, tire Chandler out, but I'm actually going to go with the young girl that I think is better. I think Chandler is going to hit a submission in this fight or get a decision. So my pick is going to be Chelsea Chandler to go to 3-1. And up next here, this fight I'm pretty confident in who the winner is going to be. Victoria Leonardo versus DeAnna Bennett. Leonardo, she's okay, but she's just not very good. She's stiff. She doesn't move her feet the best. She's very hittable. She does have good kicks, side kicks, straight punches, pull counters. But she floats her chin high. She's got it knocked out cold. In her last fight, she got knocked out with a head kick. She got hit with another head kick earlier in the fight that knocked her down. She looks pretty strong in the clinch. And when she gets the takedown, she will take the back. She'll look for control. Her takedown defense and game off her back is weak, though. I mean, I think Bennett doesn't have the same power as Leonardo, but she has better movement, footwork, better boxing. I think her level changes are pretty good. Her timing is good on the level changes. And she's a good submission grappler on the mat. She is good at controlling fighters, and she can control against the cage. She has that savviness, the veteranship to win decisions. We've seen her take out some good good up-and-comers like Miranda Maverick recently. She gets the back, and she has a good rear naked choke, good control from there also. And when you look at her record, I mean, she's beaten some legit people like Juliana Pena. She's beaten Jennifer Maya. She's beaten Miranda Maverick, like I said, Karina Rodriguez. So I think DeAnna Bennett, she's faced the better competition. She's beaten some good competition. She's lost, but I think she's still, even at 35, is still pretty good. And I think she definitely has enough to beat Victoria Leonardo. So I think I'm going to go with DeAnna Bennett here via decision. And up next, we actually have a pretty interesting fight between Alicia Zappitella taking on Lindsey VanZandt. And Lindsey VanZandt, I mean, she's a tough chick, man, but she's going to have to rebound after suffering that TKO loss in her last fight. And she's a grappler. She wants to get on top, finish the fight. Her striking isn't bad, but she can be uncomfortable being hit. She makes some bad mistakes, and she does have decent movement. She throws some straight punches. She has some heavy low kicks. She will throw some nice wide hooks in the pocket that can clip fighters. But she could struggle a little bit with her boxing defense. She stands tall. She's a little bit stiff. And in exchanges, she's hittable. And she kind of will go immediately into wrestling mode, shoot panic takedowns. But she's very comfortable off her back. She'll just shoot, fall to her back, hope opponents get in her guard. And off her back, she has a good guard. She'll go rubber guard. She'll attack omoplatas, gogoplatas. She has good triangles, arm bars. Fighters seem reluctant to kind of stay in her guard, and a lot of times they'll just stand up and kick Lindsey's legs or tell her to stand up by the ref. And Lindsey can just lay on her back and let the clock burn, which does lead to her dropping rounds. Also, if opponents constantly just stuff or ugly takedowns, it can look bad for the judges. But VanZandt is the best when she can hit her takedown, or she's good with her double leg, good with her trip takedowns in the clinch. And when she gets on top, she's very aggressive. She's a good passer. Good, she'll get to mount. She's vicious for mount. She'll rain down big punches, elbows. She's finished multiple fights on the ground with ground and pound. And she'll take the back, work for rear naked chokes. She's tough. She's scrappy. Good cardio. I think she could make it to the UFC one day. And her opponent, Alicia Zappitella, she's also a pretty good fighter. She's taken out some girls like Jillian DeCourcy, Amber Brown, and she's coming off a win, but has lost 2 of her last 3 fights. Needs to kind of find some consistency again. And she isn't a very technical fighter, but she's athletic, super fast on the feet. She's pretty terrible, though. I mean, she's fast, so she'll close the gap, and she quickly, blitz in with wild hooks, wild overhands, punches and bunches. But she will use her lead hand a lot. She'll throw jabs, straight punches, left hooks, lead uppercuts, but nothing really set up very well. And she likes to throw the overhand right a lot. She'll get overhand right happy, but that is her main weapon on the feet. She doesn't kick very much, doesn't feint, doesn't move her head. She really doesn't do much to disguise her blitzes. And we saw in her fight with Viviane Pereira, she got lit up with jabs, with straights, and she tried to get inside. And she showed her toughness in that one, but couldn't get past the straight punches. She got dropped multiple times, bloodied up. Zappitella will load up and just throw full power bombs, but really has no power. I mean, she has no knockouts, really doesn't seem to phase opponents when she lands, and she is a good grappler, though. She is, I believe, a 2016 Olympic trials alternate. She wrestled in college and, very explosive wrestler. She struggles in the clinch a little bit due to her height. She can get put in the plum clinch, hit with knees, hit with elbows. But she's strong and she can wrestle. She has great double legs. She'll drive through, cut angles very well. And on top, she's very good. She has good submission defense, good top control, very heavy. She'll sit in half guard or side control and just do enough to control opponents. She'll look for arm triangles, good back takes, good front headlocks. And yeah, I mean, she's good at mat returning fighters. She actually, is a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, so her jiu-jitsu is pretty good to go along with her wrestling. And she was able to out-grapple a similar opponent to VanZandt in Amber Brown. She can shoot takedowns from way too far out, though. Doesn't set those up well. And the best parts of her game are her hand speed and her athleticism, obviously, and her wrestling. But she isn't going to out-technique anyone on the feet. She slows way down in the third round. And she's just super hittable, man. I mean, she just will get lit up in certain fights. So it's hard to trust her on the feet. This is an interesting fight because Alicia is a better athlete. She's faster than Lindsey. She throws more volume. I think the low kicks of Lindsey will play a factor. She has tighter punches, better cardio also. She needs to force the clinch, try to attack the body with knees, and just try to take the back standing, keep it a fast pace. Try to force a bad takedown of Alicia, get top position. And she can't just lay on her back or let Alicia control her and lose a decision, though, which could likely happen also. I'm going to pick VanZandt via submission or decision, but this is another fight that could just go either way. It's a very close fight here. I'm going to pick Lindsey VanZandt, though. And lastly, we have the main event here. Emily Ducote taking on Juliana Lima. And both these girls were considered high level at a time, but have kind of hit rough patches in their career. Lima, she had a long career in the UFC. Ducote, she challenged for the Bellator titles. She had some wins over some girls, but Lima has lost 3 of her last 4 fights, and Ducote has lost 4 of 6. When you look at the ages, Ducote is a fighter who still has time to turn it around. She's 26. Juliana Lima is fighting at the twilight of her career here in Invicta at 38. This is a close fight to me on the feet. Emily is probably more technical. She has good boxing, sharp straight punches, nice shot selection, good combinations. She'll go body head very good. She does a good job of throwing a straight to the body to a left hook to the head. That's a powerful left hook. She has nice inside low kicks. She kind of is a pod shotter. Likes to pod shot girls from a distance. Keep a deliberate pace. Win decisions. Good at sticking opponents. Just maintaining and racking up points. And she doesn't really like pressure though. She can be hittable when fighters really go forward. And Lima's a decent striker herself. She's much more kick heavy, but throws some nice 1-2s. She throws a lot of round kicks, front kicks, body head. She's aggressive at times, but Lima's defense and boxing range isn't the best. She isn't the sharpest boxer. In this fight, I think Lima probably won't be as good as Emily on the feet. I see her trying to get in the clinch, look for trips, look for body locks off the cage. Lima, she has good hips, good balance, good offensive wrestling in the clinch, but at range shooting takedowns at the legs, she isn't very good. Lima, she does have good hips. She has decent takedown defense when fighters shoot in, but we saw Brianna Van Buren kind of ragdoll her in her last fight. We've seen her get taken down by wrestlers in multiple fights, but on top, when Lima can get on top, like through her clinch takedowns, she's really nothing to write home about. She doesn't have good top control. She isn't dangerous. No submissions in her career. And she isn't the best off her back. I mean, I've seen her use subs to create scrambles and stand up, but she can be controlled, lose rounds. Tisha Torres, who isn't a finisher, I believe this is Torres' only finish, was able to submit Juliana Lima with a rear naked choke. Ducote, though, she isn't really an offensive wrestler, but if she does see an easy opportunity to get a takedown off of a bad kick that an opponent throws or just a very easy entry, she will take it. And on top, she's decent. Good back takes, good rear naked chokes. She struggles with grapplers herself, though. She can be taken down, lose decisions. But she is okay with her guard. She has good arm bars, fast setups, hips. She can catch you sleeping, but doesn't have great get-ups. And if you pass her guard, she doesn't offer much. In this fight, though, I think Ducote should get it done here. This will be the first 3-round fight for Lima in over 2.5 years. Lima slows down in fights historically. She drops the 3rd round, and she's going to have to try to grapple hard here. I don't think on the feet she's going to be able to outstrike Emily. I think on the mat, Lima doesn't have the top control to stay on top, and Ducote will be able to use her guard or the cage to stand back up. Lima does have a chance to hold Ducote in the clinch, or maybe out-volume her for 3 rounds. It's not a super confident pick, but I think the younger Emily should be able to take this one, get it done. So I'm going to take Emily Ducote to get the win here in this one. And as far as the preliminary parlay of the week, because obviously I don't have odds yet, I'm going to say do a parlay with DeAnna Bennett and Chelsea Chandler. And my most confident pick on this card is going to be DeAnna Bennett. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure comment, like, subscribe. Going to be coming out with content, obviously, for the Fight Island fights coming up. You can catch me on here. You can catch me on Odds HQ. You can catch me on MMAOddsbreakers.com. So, yeah, make sure to hit me up on social media. And thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully we can make some money on this card. And, yeah, let's get it.